Hi, my name is Mandar and welcome to this week's painting project. In this project, we are going to paint a scene from Mulshi area. I have a photograph which I clicked there, and it's an area which is full of mountains and streams. So we're going to have a lot of greens in the painting, some reflections in the water and a distant mountain and so on. As usual, we will be following the three-step method, which is the M3 method of painting, which involves the first step as the composition of the painting based on the major shapes from the photograph. We are not going to be slave of the actual photograph, and we'll be changing certain things to make the painting more appealing to the viewer. And the second step will be about blocking in the colors in the main shapes, and the third step will involve adding details to finish the painting. So let's get started with the first step, in which we compose the painting. So this is a photograph which I clicked in the Mulshi Valley area, which is about 30-40 kilometers from where I live. And I'll be using this photo as the reference for my today's painting. The key to simplifying painting is looking at the whole scene and distilling it down to minimum number of shapes. So this is going to be 1, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now that the big composition is done, I'm going to draw the big shapes on this canvas and then start blocking in the colors. So I have 3 colors and white here. This is cobalt blue, this is lemon yellow, this is burnt sienna and titanium white. And I'll be using basically 2 or 3 brushes. This all flat brushes. This one is 14 number. This one is 8 number, and this one is number 1 brush. So now I'm going to start with blocking in the big shapes. So I'm taking blue and the burnt sienna. And I want to slightly turn it into green, so I will add some yellow. Into it. And I'm going to use this to block in. Let me add some slight water to it just to thin down. At this stage, I can be very free and not give a lot of attention to the details, because I can come in and adjust these shapes later on. I just want to get some color down here so that I can understand the value structure, if it's correct or not, and then come in and adjust if required. So I'm actually dividing the things which I need to do into 2 steps, and then that way it's easy to achieve the result. Now I'll add some middle tone to this green tree. So this is not the lightest color or lightest green which I am going to have in this painting, but then this is the middle value. Similar middle value will be there in these bushes also. And I now proceed to let me wash the brush, and now I'll be blocking in the color for the mountain. So I'll need blue, I'll need some green, and I need to add colors. So I need to make a green, and I want to add, actually this white dried out, because I had taken it out some time back. And let me test this color. I think it needs to be more lighter than what it is right now, and some green in it. So when I add yellow to this blue, it becomes green, obviously. And I added white to make it lighter. And let me see how this looks. It looks okay to me right now. I can come and adjust it, of course, later on. But I think I need to be slightly even lighter than what it is right now. Yeah, this looks better. Otherwise, it doesn't indicate the distance at which this mountain is. Now it's time for the reflection in the water. I could have done that when I painted this, but let's do it now. I'm not mixing it too much because I want the streaks to appear. And I'm at the end of the second stage, which is the block-in. And what I'll do now is step back and see what needs correction in terms of values, and where all do I need to add details in the third stage of painting this. So I'm washing my brush thoroughly so that the acrylic color doesn't spoil it. And by the time I'll be taking a break now for maybe 5-10 minutes so that these colors settle down nicely. And what will happen is that most of the color which is already out on the palette now will be dry and I can use it. So it's always necessary, or it's important to remember that you should take out only so much color which you're going to use very fast, and not take a lot of, this is not oil colors which remain workable for a long time. So keep that in mind, and see you in the next part of this video wherein we'll add the details. Welcome back to this video. The earlier layers of color have dried completely, and as it's acrylic, it's very fast drying. And now we'll go to the step 3 of this painting process, which is adding details. So what I'll be doing is I'll be going through each shape and adding, maybe if it requires the shadow area to be strengthened, I'll add that. I'll be adding highlights as they are required, and so on. I'll be using now a smaller brush, and I'll start with the mountain first. So as the light is coming in from here, this side of the mountain will be lighter, and I want to suggest some shadow area here. So I'll start with mixing green first, which is similar to what is already there. Making sure that it looks like it's reflecting. Now I'll come to this area of green, and this time I'll pay some attention to the brush strokes which I'm making. I make sure that I use the brush like this, so that when it lifts, it leaves some small flicks of color like this, which suggest that the grass here is cutting through this edge, and that makes the edge very jagged. Though I don't want to use larger strokes because the grass is at such a distance. And as I come towards the, sorry for that, as I come towards the base of this small hill, I'll use darker green, so that, or which will indicate that there is a shadow here, or as the surface turns vertical, it receives less light. So let me first finish this edge. Here also I'll be using these brush strokes. And you will notice that I'm not using, or I'm not making sure that I cover the earlier layer completely. Now I'll come back to the sky for some time, and the last thing which I'll probably add is the reflection here. But I'm going to start, I want the sky to be much lighter than what it is right now. So let me start with this color. I'm laying in this direct white or pure white, but then when it gets mixed with the underlying blue color, I'm not saying it will get mixed with in the literal sense, but visually it will get mixed up because of the underlying blue color, and then it will not remain as white as it seems right now. Hence I'm using this color directly. Maybe I can add a tinge of blue to it. Get the white here. this is too blue, so let me reduce it and let's see how this goes. I want to leave some area much lighter. I think this is okay. I need this kind of variation in the shades of blue, but overall I need the sky to be much lighter. I'm being slightly more careful at the edge. I don't like to mix a lot of color and then apply it, because especially with acrylics, because anyway it dries up, so you end up wasting that color. And second thing is, anyway the variation of which you get by mixing color more often adds interest to the painting rather than applying one color to the whole canvas. I kind of want to maintain that blue in the top left corner, so I'll just merge this with here like this. And this same color will be also reflected in the water below, so there will be some light blue color here. For this I'll use a smaller brush because I don't want to mess with the edges which I've already got. So maybe it will be like this somewhere. Some of that will shine here also, and I just wanted to merge with the other colors. Look at this painting from distance. So I'm stepping few steps back and I'm looking at the canvas now and seeing what needs to be adjusted more. Welcome back. In the last few minutes I did some changes to this painting, and unfortunately I lost those that video footage because the battery went down and I didn't hear the sound of camera clicking off. But then I'll tell you what I did in those 5 minutes. I added some lighter yellow color here directly from here, and then I added some lighter blue color in this area and this area. Added these two sky holes and added these dark marks just as an indication of some stones or some sticks from the foliage and all that. I've kept those very rough and not defined those because I don't want people's attention or the viewers' attention to be grabbed by these things. But then I also wanted to show something which adds some visual interest to those areas. What I'll be doing as the last thing is I'll be darkening this area a bit than this, because I want the viewer's attention to remain in the painting and not go out from there. So I'll be using this blue color just to make this area slightly darker. So what I'm doing right now is called glazing. I'm using a very thin coat of the color, and what this will do is that not allow the viewer's attention to go out from this area, and that's why this is important. Whenever you paint sky or any area or water or whatever, for that matter, anything, always make sure that towards the focal point your areas of or the colors become lighter, and wherever it's a corner or it's going out of the painting, then those areas should be darker as compared to this. So the sky becomes lighter and lighter towards horizon, and as things come closer and closer to us, they become more they have more color, they become darker in this case. So with that last thing, I think I am ready to call this painting as done. I hope you have enjoyed watching this, and I've included the reference photograph with this video so that you can use the same photo and paint another painting or try a different composition. And now it's time to remove the tape, which is a very pleasing moment where you can see the painting as if it's framed already. So let's see how this looks. And here goes the last tape. I need to put a piece of tape in the top right corner so that you can see the painting clearly. That's it. So here is the final painting, and I hope you enjoyed. You also learned something. So I encourage you to paint your own painting based on the same theme, and then post it so that I get to know what you've done, and also ask me questions if you have any, and see you in the next video. Thank you.